Well, and I know we have Garrett still with us. Former President Donald Trump lashed out at Kevin McCarthy after the House Speaker rejected the suggestion that January 6th rioter Ashley Babbitt was murdered by police. Garrett, what's the latest on that?
Mika, this really went under the radar yesterday, but in that same news conference after the vote on Ilhan Omar, Kevin McCarthy took a question from a reporter about the killing of Ashley Babbitt. Remember, Babbitt was the rioter who was shot trying to break into the Speaker's lobby on January 6th. It seemed kind of out of nowhere in the moment, but McCarthy's response got at least one person's attention. Let's play McCarthy answering that question yesterday.
One of the first things Marjorie Taylor Greene said from the oversight dais was that Ashley Babbitt was murdered. Do you think Ashley Babbitt was murdered, or do you think the police officer who shot her was doing his job?
I think the police officer did his job.
Now, this has become a subject and has been a subject for some time in kind of the MAGA online commentariat about Ashley Babbitt and that day. And one person who noticed it was Donald Trump, who posted last night on Truth Social, his social media platform, about this, saying he strongly disagrees with Kevin McCarthy and that he believes Ashley Babbitt was murdered. It's a lengthy post on Truth Social. And for all the people who are picking up their phones to tweet about why we would elevate this right now, the answer is this. Donald Trump, who's not been on Twitter, who's not been on Facebook, who's not been on most mainstream media, he's about to start appearing again in those places. He's been reinstated on these other social media platforms. And this is the kind of stuff that he's been talking about on Truth Social, mostly with his closest supporters. It's the kind of stuff that his allies on Capitol Hill have urged him to let go and focus instead on policy and on, future-looking politics. But instead, he's continuing to talk about 2020. He's continuing to talk about conspiracy theories about January 6th, kind of the single thing that had caused the most people in the Republican Party to break from him, and he cannot let it go, even at this point, to elevate it into a new tit for tat, if you will, with the Republican House Speaker. Watch this space as Donald Trump gets his larger social media megaphones back, guys.
All right, NBC's Garrett Haake, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that reporting. And Mika, this is, you had rioters going through the Capitol, and they were trying to break through. Just so everybody knows, they were breaking through the door that got them right on to the House floor.
Yeah.
Right onto the House floor. And that's when the very unfortunate, very sad confrontation took place. Those police officers, though, had a riot, and they wanted to protect members in the House of Representatives from being killed. These people these people were going to kill. And so the fact that Donald Trump, again, we talked before last hour about how politics, when you're a party that wins elections, is about the future, not the past. Donald Trump going back, calling police officers murderers, calling police officers murderers for trying to protect members of Congress. Now, of course, it's the same Donald Trump that said on January the 6th that Mike Pence deserved to be hanged. This is the same Donald Trump that sat for hours and watched rioters beat the hell out of police officers.
This is the same Donald Trump that sent them all there.
Right, that sent them there.
So that young lady was in that position.
Sat in front of his TV set and rewinding the most violent parts of the riots while they were going on, while his son, while his daughter, while his people closest to him, while his lawyers, while everybody in the White House was begging him to call off the rioters. He refused. And later he said the Constitution of the United States should be terminated. It's really, it's just,
it's as
again,
sick as it gets.
It is. There's a good word for it. The word deplorable. If the word fits, use it. He is so deplorable in going back and, again, trying to attack police officers, calling them murderers.